accept the nomination. I, Akim Olufemi Gbajabiamila. God bless you all.
It will help our researchers and also help our nation in terms of developing this vaccine.
House proposes production of homegrown vaccines to defeat diseases in Nigeria.
The urgent need to investigate the release and sale of adulterated premium motor spirit PMS in petrol stations across Nigeria.
And lawmakers to investigate alleged importation of adulterated fuel into Nigeria. Welcome to House Tickets, your window into the activities of the House of Representatives, Federal Republic of Nigeria. Lawmakers' deliberation in the week under review saw major resolutions to improve the health sector, a bill to support local vaccine production, an amendment of the Primary Healthcare Development Act, and a motion to retrain medical workers on customer service and satisfaction were some of the issues here. And from the committees, the House Committee on Electoral Matters visited INEC to ascertain the level of preparations for the recently concluded FCT Council elections, as well as to discuss electoral matters. Details in a moment. Do stay with House Tickets.
If we set our minds right, embrace each other in love and brotherhood, we will come through these troubling times. We will survive, we will recover, and then we will thrive. One nation under God, free, peaceful, and prosperous.
A major issue in the public space last week was the scarcity of petrol, which resulted from the importation of adulterated petroleum products. The House reacted to this development via a motion taking far-reaching resolutions to avert a reoccurrence. For details of this and other deliberations during plenary of Tuesday 7th to Thursday 9th February 2022, let's take this report from our studio.
Proceedings at the Green Chamber were throughout the week under review, presided over by the Deputy Speaker, Representative Ahmad Idris Wase. As a matter of urgent public importance, the House on Thursday, the 10th of February 2022, debated on the need to investigate the alleged importation of substandard fuel into the country. The Chief Whip of the House, Representative Muhammad Tahir Manguno, sponsored the motion.
The urgent need to investigate the release and sale of adulterated premium motor spirit PMS in petrol stations across Nigeria. The House notes that recently the country witnessed a sudden scarcity of petroleum motor spirit with the attendant long queues at petrol stations, especially in the Federal Capital Territory and Lagos State.
There are almost 11 checks before a petroleum products get to the filling station. First, at the importation level, where there's an international company that will go and ascertain what happened. What type of product are we bringing in, as he has said. Secondly, when it comes to Nigeria, we also test. Thirdly, at the ports, there are labs. Fourth, all the marketing companies have independent laboratories to ascertain this product is of quality. So for this to happen, it means the system is completely compromised.
Mr. Speaker, I want to submit that the NNPC from the group managing director should be summoned and they should come and explain to Nigerians why we need to be gambling with our lives.
Mr. Speaker, last week or last month or so, this House constituted a committee to investigate on the amount of subsidy spent on petroleum products consumed by Nigerians. Then how can Nigerians spend such amount of money for someone to go and import adulterated product and bring it into this country, a question must be asked and someone needs to answer.
Because there are no consequences, or we have not been following up down to the latter. Consequences of infractions, negligence, when it comes to putting the lives of Nigerians to danger. A lot of people are getting away with this. And Mr. Speaker, distinguished honorable members, this must stop. And this is the right time.
That means that it is, you want to weaponize it against Nigerians. What if these have been taken an aircraft and they burst into flames?
All innocent Nigerians who fell victim to this adulterated petroleum and their vehicles or whatever they are used have been spoiled should be considered in the investigation, so that the person that brought in this toxic petroleum should take the repairs or replacement of all these equipments that our innocent Nigerians have lost.
Those in favor of the motion as amended say aye. Against say nay. The ayes have it.
On bills debated at second reading that same Thursday, the House considered a bill for an act to provide for the establishment and composition of Agricultural Development Trust Fund, added fund, and for related matters standing in the name of Representative Ademorin Kuye.
One of the major problems of agricultural development in Nigeria is that of developing appropriate organization to mobilize and induce members of the rural sector to a greater productive effort.
We have Education Trust Fund. We have Health Trust Fund. If we have, and we can establish Agricultural Trust Fund, it will help and create more job opportunity, and there will be food security to develop this country.
A country like Nigeria definitely would like to have a very strong agricultural base that will lead in our economic activities and economic development like most of other countries around the globe.
The bill was referred to the Committee on Agricultural Production and Services for further legislative action. Another bill that scaled second reading that day was a bill for an act to amend the National Health Act 2014 and for related matters, sponsored by Representative Sergius Ogun.
The objective of this bill is to amend the Principal Act so as to make provision for sanctions against any public officer who violates the provision of the Act, especially Section 46 of the Act, which provides that without prejudice to the right of any Nigerian to seek medical checkup, investigation, or treatment anywhere within and outside Nigeria, no public officer of the government of the Federation or any part thereof shall be sponsored for medical checkup, investigation, or treatment abroad at public expense, except in exceptional cases on the recommendation and referral by the medical board, and which recommendation and referral shall be duly approved by the Minister or Commissioner of Health of the state as the case may be.
Any public officer should not incur bills from the Nigerian Post on health basis overseas, and a breach of it is sanctionable, is punishable. And he has looked at the bill. There is no particular recommendation to what punishment you give.
The essence of the parliament is to deliberately every time look at the shortcomings in our law and fill it. Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues, I appeal to us, please, to look at this bill on its merit. It's an amendment to make sure there's no lacuna.
The bill was referred to the Committee on Health Institutions for further legislative considerations. Still on bills at second reading, the House on Tuesday, the 8th of February 2022, considered a bill for an act to establish the Nigerian Center for Vaccine Research and Development and related matters. Representative Kasim Megari sponsored the bill.
This bill, if passed, it will help the whole nation to develop our own vaccine and to save a lot of billions we are spending annually.
Lawmakers contributed in support of the bill.
And even though we have some medical research institutes like the Nigerian Medical Institute for Research and the Pharmaceutical Research Institute, we need one that is, specified for vaccines alone so that they can work on vaccines.
When Ebola came, we were taken by surprise. And it was difficult for us to even be able to cure Ebola. It was just by trial by error that we were able to resolve the issue of Ebola. Not that we were able to get a vaccine that we can say, yes, this can cure Ebola. It was just by accident that we were able to come out of it. On the issue of polio, the same thing. We bring everything from outside Nigeria.
This is a good bill in the sense that if this can be established and given the required resources to function, it will do us a lot of good in Nigeria. Take, for example, reptiles bite. If research can be done properly to get what kind of vaccine that can be given to our people, the people that we are representing here, including ourselves, I think it will go a long way.
With this bill passed, I believe it will offer Nigerians and Nigeria a very special opportunity where vaccine can be studied in a research center in relation to our peculiarities as human beings. We are Africans, and in Africa, we are Nigerians. My brothers, you can all believe with me, we have certain things in our chemistry. We have a lot of things in our biology that quite differ from a lot of other humanities out in the globe.
Other bills that passed second reading in the week under review are a bill for an act to establish the Federal University of Agricultural Technology, Damboa, Borno State, and for related matters, sponsored by Representative Ahmadu Usman Jaha. A bill for an act to provide a legal framework to establish the Federal College of Medical Laboratory Sciences, Nko, Okpala, Imo State, and for related matters, by Representative Bede Uchenna Eke. A bill for an act to establish the Federal University of Agriculture, Oregbeni, Ikpoba, Oha, Edo State, to make comprehensive provision for its due management and for related matters. It stands in the name of Representative Jude Ise Idehen. And a bill for an act to alter the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, to review the required educational qualification for election into certain political offices and for related matters. Representative Adewumi Oriomi sponsored the bill.
As we have begun to see, the race for elective offices at both state and national levels have become increasingly competitive. While this is good as a tenet of universal suffrage, it can also be counterproductive if people who are not sufficiently prepared educationally get into these elective offices.
Several bills were also read for the third time in the week under review. They include a bill for an act to provide for the establishment of a University of Aerospace and Aeronautics, Oka Akoko, and matters of administration and discipline of students and for related matters. A bill for an act to repeal the Nigerian Airspace Management Agency Act, laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004, and enact the Nigerian Airspace Management Agency Bill to provide efficient air navigation services in Nigeria, ensure safety and regulation of air navigation in Nigeria, and to any other place which Nigeria has responsibility of providing air navigation services and for related matters. A bill for an act to amend the Agricultural Research Council of Nigeria Act, laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004 as amended, to make provision for establishment of the Federal College of Agriculture, Kirikasama, and for related matters. A bill for an act to establish the Chartered Institute of Risk Management of Nigeria, to provide for the control of its membership and promote the practice of risk management in Nigeria and for related matters.
That a bill for an act to establish Counseling Practitioners Council of Nigeria, charged with the responsibility of advancing the study, training, and practice of counseling profession, and for related matters, HB 409, be taken a third time.
On motions entertained by the House early in the week under review, Representative Abubakar Hassan Fulata sponsored a motion on committal of the bill for an act to amend the National Primary Healthcare Development Agency.
In the course of cleaning the bill, the Director of Legal Services of the National Assembly revoked some provisions of the bill in order to address the intendment of the amendment.
As a resolution, the motion was adopted as the House resolved to commit the bill for reconsideration in the Committee of the Whole. On his part, Representative Chinedu Emeka Martins moved a motion on the need to retrain workers in public medical facilities in Nigeria.
The quality of service delivery is crucial in healthcare management, especially in government hospitals. The House is therefore concerned that cases of negligence, auspiciousness, and impoliteness have been reported in government hospitals, leading to loss of confidence in the public hospitals.
The motion was also adopted and the House resolved to urge the Federal Ministry of Health to conduct mandatory customer service training in all public hospitals and health facilities periodically. Also urged the Federal Ministry of Health to develop a system to track patient satisfaction and complaints outline, punitive measures for service failure, and incentives for excellent customer care performance.
The House resolved to
Representative Onofiok Akpan Luke, on his part, sponsored a motion on the need to regulate online advertising and sales of drugs.
The House concerned that online vendors have capitalized on free access to the internet and social media platforms to advertise and sell unregistered and sometimes fake drugs to unsuspecting members of the public, thereby endangering their health and well-being.
The House, in its resolution, called on the Advertising Practitioners Council of Nigeria, APCON, to liaise with online advertising companies like Google, Facebook, Twitter, to effectively monitor, control, and enforce advertising standards against online drug advertisers and vendors. Also called on the National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, to arrest and prosecute unlawful online advertisers of drugs and enlighten the public against the dangers of purchasing unregistered and non-prescribed drugs online. There was another motion on the urgent need to implement the Nigerian gas policy. It stood in the name of Representative Rotimi Agunshoye.
The House is aware that the Nigerian gas policy is fashioned to boost the oil and gas sector and enhance the economy of the nation as well as boost the domestic market for LPG. The House is also aware that the Nigerian gas policy aims at moving Nigeria from being a crude oil export-based economy to an attractive oil and gas-based industrial economy.
The House, in adopting the prayers of the motion, resolved to urge the federal government to implement the Nigerian gas policy as well as make immediate intervention to force down the rising cost of cooking gas in Nigeria and mandate the Committee on Gas Resources to ensure compliance and report back within 4 weeks for further legislative action.
The program is House Ticket, bringing you detailed accounts of proceedings in the House of Representatives. From plenary, we move to other activities of the lawmakers as we take this report of the House Committee on Electoral Matters. Do stay tuned.
We have to do away with the issue of...
If there are challenges, you can always come to the National Assembly.
We must back that effort by
If there was only 2% left, why didn't the ministry inject some money for 20?
Why transferring for the same area that they were operated there? And you expect to come and clap for you?
On Wednesday, the 9th of February 2022, House Committee on Electoral Matters, led by its chairman, Representative Aishatu Jibril Dukku, visited INEC office in Abuja. The visit was to ascertain the level of preparations for the FCT Council elections, which held on Saturday, the 12th of February 2022, and as well to discuss electoral issues generally. INEC National Commissioner supervising the FCT, Professor Abdullahi Zuru, welcomed the committee on behalf of its chairman, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu.
It is therefore very germane that you have come to ensure that all that is required for a free, fair, credible and inclusive election is put in place appropriately. I, on behalf of the Commission, wish to assure the esteemed committee members, the good people of FCT and Nigerians in general, that we are ready.
He said in its efforts to expand voter access to polling units, INEC had created additional polling units nationwide, lamenting that in the FCT, 593 units have not recorded a single registered voter.
We have already informed political parties, civil society organizations, the media, the security agencies, and the nation level about this development. The Commission has decided that no election will take place at the polling units without registered voters.
My question is,
there were comments, questions and observations from the lawmakers.
How, in the first place, were those units created?
The polling units were not just created from nowhere by INEC. Due consultations were made with the communities. In fact, communities requesting themselves for these additional PUs.
I'm happy also that
while making her remarks, the committee chairman Aishatu Jibril Dukku expressed confidence in INEC's ability to conduct free and fair elections in the FCT and beyond. She spoke to journalists at the end of the oversight visit.
You heard one of my colleagues ask about the uncollected PVCs. It's a thing to worry because without the PVC you cannot be able to vote, and so it's a matter of concern. And as it is now, we have to close the collection because the time for the election, is too close. So after the election, before the 2023 general elections, something urgent will be done. And of course, I have asked the chairman of INEC, Professor Mahmoud, to call all the recs together with a view to finding solution to uncollected PVC. It is not only the FCT, it is a general issue all over the country.
She also commented on
the FCT elections are litmus elections for the entire country. Soon after this, there will be the Ekiti and the Osun elections. And so whatever happens in the FCT on the 12th of February will be an omen, to the elections coming up. So the people of the FCT cannot afford to disappoint Nigerians.
They are here on a courtesy visit.
In other news, the Deputy Speaker, Representative Ahmed Idris Wasi, has charged the youth on promoting peaceful coexistence in Nigeria.
And I want to urge you, all of you, to be ambassadors of peace, ambassadors of society. Let this centers once more resonate again and come back to life. Lead like they used to lead. Our history and our citizens are very clear. From the military regime, the contribution we have been making to stabilize the country. And we should not lack in the democratic dispensation.
He said, as leaders, they will continue to guide the youth who are expected to take over in the future.
Thank you for coming to learn and appreciate National Assembly. It's an act of zeal and determination to learn, maybe for the purpose of delivery tomorrow. We're not going to remain in leadership for the remaining part of our life. One day we hope to be quit.
Abubakar Mahmoud is the president of the union. He led the delegation.
I've organized so many programs, starting from entrepreneurship summit in Jos Plateau State, whereby the Right Honorable Deputy Speaker have supported the program, that even the students were being enrolled into entrepreneurship right now presently. Apart from that, we have organized so many programs during the COVID-19 market of North Central, whereby we have distributed over 5,000 face masks to North Central students. And the Deputy Speaker has also supported the program.
As a result, he said the group is mobilizing support for the Deputy Speaker to move his political career to the next level. And that's our package on house tickets. We shall continue to bring you details of happenings from within and outside the Green Chambers. Follow us on our social media handles, send in questions and observations, and we will do our best to bring you answers. Enjoy the rest of your day.